know Rich Hobson?
Who's asking?
An old friend.
Really, Mr.
Where's he at? Shut up, Dooley. Sorry, man. We've been on the trail a long while. Wondering how far to the Hobson Ranch?
A few hours ride. But if you're looking for Rich, he's up at Batuni. 2 days the other way.
How come you know where Hobson's at? I just asked.
We're old friends.
Thanks for your help, man.
No trouble.
Let's go, Dooley.
Good day. Where's Mr. Hobson?
Said to tell you to ride out to Panoy Meadow for a few days.
What?
Pan said he needed his help. Are you all right?
Yes. I'm sure it's nothing.
Can I help?
Come on. What have we got for supper?
Well, I'm gonna shepherd's pie out of leftover moose stew, and there's fresh carrots, and for dessert,
Richmond P. Hobson Jr., Panhandle Phillips, and Gloria McIntosh Hobson were real people. And for a short period of time, in the wilderness halfway between Vancouver and the Yukon, they worked to carve out the largest cattle ranch in the world. That part is true.
Who are those guys?
Go get Rich and Pan.
No, I'm supposed to...
Bring them back on the double.
Well, what should I say?
Tell them that one of them's called Dooley, and he appears to be missing a large chunk of his ear.
That's enough for me?
Me too. Go.
But what about you and Kid?
Just tell them to hurry.
What do they want with us?
It's probably nothing. We're just gonna ignore them. Come on. Let's eat up Tommy's shepherd's pie.
Hobson! They're out back at the water tower! Kit! Let me! Can I get my hands on them? Who are they? I don't know, but I promise you, when I find out... What are you gonna do?
Talk to them. Ask them what they think they're doing.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Well, civilized people.
Hey! Stop! Stop it! Hey! Get out of there! Get off our property! Get out of here! You all right? Yeah. Mrs. Hobson, are you sure that you know how to use that?
I've watched Pan.
But you've never actually used...
They don't know that.
I'll get the 22 from the bunkhouse.
Good. If they come back, we'll be ready.
Mr. Hobson! Mr. Phillips!
Tommy?
What are you doing out here?
Well, it's these, they're, it's these, they're,
Is Mrs. Hobson all right?
She get herself into trouble again?
yeah, I mean, no, well,
Take a breath, son.
these two thugs showed up.
What they want?
I don't know.
What do they do?
Well, they camped up on the ridge. That's when Mrs. Hobson sent me to get you to.
You know who they are?
I didn't see them up close.
One of them looked like somebody tried to make a meal out of his ear.
Why would you think that?
Actually,
Tell me you weren't thinking the same thing.
Mrs. Hobson said that one of them was sort of missing a chunk of his ear.
That's right.
Why would you leave Kit and Mrs. Hobson alone to face the Fraker boys?
You ordered me. Who are the Fraker boys?
Where are they?
We have to get the cattle back.
What if that's what they want? To get us away from the house.
But the cattle!
We'll have to wait till the men get back. We have to guard the ranch.
Ow! Ow! Hey!
Ed? Ed? What are you doing here? Oh my gosh. I thought that you were... I'm sorry, Ed. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
When I didn't hear from you, I got worried and I thought
It's
that-
okay. It's okay. I'm back.
What are you doing in the barn?
Well, I hitched a ride from town to Kliskus last night, and then I walked.
So, what are you doing in the barn?
Well, I got in late. I didn't want to scare you.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'll be fine. I got wounded. They invalided me out, and I'm not fit for combat anymore.
Is it serious?
Nothing really. Just nothing much more than a simple flesh wound. It's,
But if...
you know what they say? It's there's the right way, the wrong way, and then the Navy way. But anyway, what's going on? Why are you carrying guns?
These men are attacking the ranch, and they...
Where's Pan and Mr. Hobson?
Tell me when to get them.
Now that you're here, I mean, we can hold them off at least until they get back.
No need to wait for Pan and Mr. Hobson.
I know for sure.
You two stay right here, and we'll run them off right now.
Where'd you say the camp was?
Fraker boys.
The Fraker boys?
Who are the Fraker boys?
Real trouble.
Oh, there's my war wound again. Navy doctor said it'll do that for a while. You know, maybe we should wait.
Are you all right?
We're fine.
Why are there cattle spread all over the hell and gone?
It's the Frakers.
Welcome home, Ed.
Yeah, hey, Ed. You sure it's the Frakers?
Yeah, I saw them right up on the hill.
Who are the Frakers?
All right, let's put an end to this right now. Well, looks like they cleared out.
so?
One look at us, and they're probably headed back to the rock they crawled out from under.
Are the Frakers?
Tough customers from what I heard when I was a kid.
Even Pa was afraid of them.
Oh, they're more bark than bite.
You weren't there.
Well, there's no sense in letting it spoil Ed's welcome home.
So the Jerry's men tag you, did they?
It's nothing really, just a scratch.
What was it, the Luftwaffe?
No,
U-boat attack?
just a piece of shrapnel. It's okay, it's almost healed.
Will you have to go back?
Nope, that's it. I got a medical discharge.
What they call $1 million wound.
If it was up to me, I would have stayed in, but, you know, Navy regulations and,
You did your duty. We're just glad to have you back home safe.
I think that we should have a party.
You're right, Kit.
Tommy can cook whatever you want for dinner.
As long as it's moose meat and biscuits.
An apple pie. How does that sound?
it sounds great, but you don't have to go to any trouble on my account.
Trouble? It's not every day that we have a war hero on the ranch. You'll be wanting Frank's knife. You can keep it till he comes back, like I kept it for you.
Any word from him?
No. I thought you might have heard.
Took good care of your saddle for you. It's in the barn, oiled and ready.
Tommy, get your stuff out of here so Ed can have his bunk back.
Oh, no, hey, it's all right. It's okay.
No, it's all right. It'll just take me a minute.
Tommy, cut down your chaps. You could use them as jinx.
It's okay.
So, was it a lone U-boat or did a whole wolf pack attack
What's that?
when you got wounded?
Oh, yeah. No, just one. We caught it at the surface about a half hour before dawn, and it started firing its deck gun. And a shell exploded right above my battle station, and a piece of metal winged me in the rib, so...
Wow. Did you get him?
Oh, yeah, I mean, he tried to die, but we rammed him before he got in too deep and finished him off with depth charges.
Wow. Weren't you scared?
He's so busy, you know, I mean, loading up and firing, you don't really have time to be scared.
I'd have time.
They're long gone, Gloria.
How do you know for sure?
They ain't got the sand for a fight. Just like them to skedaddle as soon as they see men about the place.
When I saw them on the trail, they said they were looking for you.
Well, they probably meant they were looking for our ranch. May have heard we were away and wanted to pilfer a few things.
Yeah, that'd be about their speed. I'm just gonna take a swing through the bush. See if we missed any strays. Don't wait supper!
It's all right, they're gone, Gloria.
Cold, too, I mean. We had to go with fire axes to chop the ice off the guns, and the decks would be heaving and pitching, and you'd be slipping and sliding, trying not to be washed overboard, you know, and getting soaked in the freezing spray of the waves.
One apple?
Yeah.
Tommy?
Thanks. Storms are so bad one crossing, we lost more ships to weather than we did the U-boats.
Well, what happens to the men when their boats sink?
Well, we tried to pick them up, but usually they froze to death or drowned. Okay, look, if these stories are bothering you, I can stop telling them.
No. It's okay. You came back alive. Means that Frank can too.
Yeah, you bet.
Hey, come here.
What's really going on?
There's nothing to tell. Just a couple of lowlifes who hunt and trap in the mountains.
Why did they come here?
They have a winter cabin up in the Fawnies. They're probably drifting through and decided to raise a little hell.
Tell me the truth.
All right. Promise not to worry.
Tell me.
They have an older brother named Emmett. And I had a run-in with him a few years ago.
A run-in?
A push and shove in town. Didn't amount to anything, really.
Really? So this was Emmett coming back for a rematch?
No. This is his two little brothers, Warren and Dooley, trying to get back at me, I guess.
You didn't see them. How do you know one of them wasn't Emmett?
Because Emmett's in jail for robbery. So we don't have to worry about him. And the other two are just punks. Gloria, you promised you wouldn't worry.
No, I didn't.
I'm going to sleep. Let's go. I hear you were bothering my wife.
Now that constitutes trespass.
And we don't take kindly to trespassers.
And since you are on our property and you don't bear any identifying marks, we can only assume that you're strays. And what we generally do with strays is we brand them.
Unless you can suggest another course of action. You wouldn't get away with this if Emmett was here.
We'll pull out.
I beg your pardon?
We'll get. Make it quick.
Shoot, I had this iron about smoking.
I have had it. If somebody doesn't tell me what's going on right now,
It's all over and done with.
I wake up and you've disappeared, and then you just come strolling in here as if there's nothing wrong?
There is nothing wrong.
We ran the Frakers off. We get any fresh bacon from Rupert?
You mean they were still lurking about?
Not anymore. Eggs.
What happened between you and Emmett?
You told her about you and Emmett?
Of course.
But I'd like to hear your version, Pan.
Well, Emmett Fraker was going to slice Jimmy Chan to ribbons and steal his life savings. Old Rich stepped in and put a stop to it.
You were in a knife fight?
That's not how it happened at all.
I was there. Emmett Fraker had about the biggest Arkansas toothpick you'd ever want to go up against.
All right, all right. I'll tell you the real story. One night about 3 years ago, Pan and I rolled into Vanderhoof. It was late, so I was worried that Jimmy'd be closed up.
Time to go home. I'm closing now. You need to sleep it off.
Open the cash drawer. Give me your money.
You better go now.
I ain't going nowhere without that cash.
Hey, Jimmy, any chance? What's going on here?
None of your business.
Hey, why don't you put the knife down?
Hey, did you persuade Jimmy to... Well, what kind of party's going on here?
Maybe you should get the Mountie. That's all there was to it. Emmett went to jail for attempted armed robbery.
I figured that story could have got us free drinks for a month, but Rich never wanted to talk about it.
Can't believe I had to drag this out of you.
No, it was no big deal. I just happened along at the right time.
For Jimmy, wrong time for Emmett Fraker. No wonder his brothers have it in for you.
Took them 3 years to get the nerve up to show their faces. I don't think they're a threat.
Especially not after that wake-up call we just gave him.
No more secrets.
It wasn't a secret. It just never came up.
It did come up over and over again, and you just kept giving me some half-baked version of the truth. Keeping me in the dark is not protecting me.
You two weren't hungry?
You know, in the Navy, they're nuts about keeping stuff clean. Me and my buddy scrubbed the floor with a toothbrush.
Still no sign of the Frakers. Guess they're gone for good, huh?
That's too bad in a way. I like to trim those guys for scaring you and Mrs. Hobson.
I wasn't scared. And I wouldn't let you tangle with them in your condition.
Could have handled it. There's only two of them.
Hey, you know your wound?
Yeah?
Any chance that I could, see it?
Oh, it's just a scratch.
No, you know, I've never seen a shrapnel wound.
Oh, before breakfast? I mean, come on, I wouldn't want to put you off your feet.
You're not both going.
We have to round up cattle.
There's so much to be done around here.
Like what?
Like putting the scarecrow back up and repairing the water tower. I only managed a temporary fix.
Meaning it can wait till we get back.
Gloria, it's all right. Frakers are gone. They're not coming back.
You got nothing to worry about.
Well, how do I know for sure? And you guys never tell me when there is something to be worried about, so I worry that I should be worrying even when you tell me not to worry.
What worries me is I actually followed that. Nelson! We're going cow hunting. You want to come?
Nope. Francis was up to Russet Lake picking out some oak for Dad to carve him a new leg.
Uh-huh.
What, he lose the old one?
Wants a special one for holidays. Anyway, he ran into Father Donahue from Vanderhoof. You'll never guess who got off the train the other day.
Probably we won't.
Emmett Fraker. Word is he left town yesterday, coming this way. Thought you'd want to know.
Thanks for the news, Nelson.
Trail, jump Emmett, little getting out of jail surprise party. You know that spot just below Black Snake Falls?
No.
You're right. The switchback above the rock slide. He'll be too tired to look up, and then we...
There isn't gonna be any ambush.
Good. You'll go get Corporal Stewart.
Tell him what?
Well, if Emmett is more dangerous than his brothers, there's nothing
Nothing to be worried about. He hasn't done anything.
That's because he just got out of jail.
What about his ugly brothers?
They played a few pranks.
They scared us half to death.
I know. All I'm saying is...
What? We were babies to be afraid of them?
No, but that's how to look to Corporal Stewart.
All right, what's your plan?
Don't get carried away. Maybe Emmett's turned over a new leaf.
Rehabilitation. Yes, I hear that happens a lot in jail.
Remember Sid Whittles? An accountant by training and disposition, but with an unsuspected taste for fine old whiskey and coarse young women, neither of which he could afford.
Don't need to hear this.
He did 3 years for embezzlement, but in prison, Sidney lost his accountant's aversion to risk. And when he got out, instead of robbery at Penpoint, he took up the armed variety and splashed a brief but incandescent trail of wounded bank officers across North Dakota before he was finally killed in a police crossfire one February morning in Minot. Have I told her that story before?
Am I supposed to get anything done? Gloria, it's all right.
No, it's not. Why won't you do something?
There's nothing to do.
Oh, so I'm just supposed to wait here terrified until they come back?
They aren't going to come back.
Oh, great.
Gloria, Warren and Dooley are just happy that their big brother's getting out of jail. Now they've had their fun. That's the end of it.
Are you sure? What if they start again? What if they show up here? What are they going to want next?
Revenge. That's the only reason Emmett's coming this way.
I'm going to meet him.
Well, now, finally, you're showing some sense. I mean, okay, there's this big tree halfway to Calcutt Lake.
We are not going. This is between Emmett and me. I'm going alone.
That's ridiculous.
Look, I don't want to start a feud. This is the 20th century. I think we've grown past the Hatfields and the McCoys.
Of course we have. I mean, look at what's going on overseas. Yep, this old world has certainly matured.
I got nothing against Emmett.
He didn't send you to jail.
Just stay out of it, all right?
Even if Warren and Dooley want to mix in?
I plan on finding Emmett on the trail before he meets up with his two stupid brothers.
And when dawn lit the eastern sky, we were alone on the gray sea. The convoy had broken up. There wasn't another ship in sight. 360 degrees of empty sea. And then suddenly, as the sun broke through the horizon, this growl of the
Messerschmitts ripped the Dawn apart.
Yeah, 6 of them.
Slicing low out of the sun across the water.
How did you know that?
It's right here in the paper. Must have been a pretty big fight if it made the paper.
Yeah, we had this reporter with us. I didn't know you got the paper all the way up here.
Onions came wrapped in it.
Gloria! Gloria!
Why don't you try aiming for them cans? They're closer.
What are you doing?
I need to defend myself when that madman makes me a widow.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to meet with Emmett.
That's what I mean. Damn. Were you planning on telling me, or were you just going to leave a note on my pillow?
Gloria, Emmett's a bully. You stand up to him and the wind goes out of him pretty quickly.
Exactly. When Greg McCauley did that, Emmett only made him eat a beer bottle.
If you wanted to intimidate him, why don't you just take Penn and Ed and Nelson, Robert McDaniels, and anyone else?
Because I don't want to start a war. I mean, look at you. But you probably should learn to handle this thing. All right, chamber one. Put it up, snug to your shoulder. Now, you're not going to pull the trigger, all right? You're going to squeeze it. Breathe. Exhale. And squeeze. Here. Try this. There you go. Easy as pie.
Thank God you've got some sense. Going with him.
No. Just because Rich feels some obligation.
You said we should ambush Emmett Fraker.
There's a lot of work on the ranch needs to be done. That job up Penoyer Meadow we just walked away from.
So all that talk of supporting your partner, that was just talk?
When your partner says that there is something that he needs to do on his own, then a man has got to respect his wishes.
Oh, the code of the frontier. What about the fact that people are in danger here?
No, not the code of the frontier. The burden of bravery. Once Rich stood up to Emmett and showed everyone that he is brave, he had to keep doing it.
So if Rich had only chickened out in the first place, he'd be off the hook? So if Rich had only chickened out in the first place, he'd be off the hook? You're all nuts.
Don't worry. Rich can handle himself. And you have the war hero to keep an eye on you. Besides, now you know how to use a shotgun.
So you, gonna ride out with Mr. Hobson tomorrow?
I said he didn't want any help.
I know that's what he said.
Well, one thing I learned in the Navy, you gotta follow orders, right?
Save war stories for Kit. She likes him. Gives her comfort thinking you're a hero.
Well, if you're staying here, I guess I'll go back up, Mr. Hobson.
Wait a minute. If anyone's gonna go, would it be me?
What about your war wound?
This mission's too dangerous for a civilian.
Just how wide is the line between bravery and stupidity, anyway?
This isn't dangerous.
How come you're the only one who thinks that?
I don't know. How come I'm the only one who's ever stood up to Emmett?
Are you doing this to be some kind of a war hero because Ed's back, you know, living up to your father's reputation?
That's it. I don't have to prove anything to anyone. I'm just trying to put an end to your worrying.
Don't use my own words against me. Especially when you aren't telling me anything.
Well, talking doesn't seem to help.
Why are you going alone?
Gloria, if I have to explain it to you, you still won't understand.
Any sign of Emmett?
Not yet. Need you to do something for me.
Uh-huh.
Hit me. Right here.
Toothache?
Nope. Right here.
I'd rather not.
I'm asking. As a personal favor. Thanks. All right. Now the other side. Harder.
You been eating wild mushrooms?
Remember that time I tricked you into building that trail to Lake Anaheim for free?
Uh-huh.
And the time I stuck you with that mare that had bowed tendon? Right here.
You all right?
Oh, yeah. I'll be eating soup for a week.
You gonna tell me what this is all about?
Trying to stop a fight.
What's up? Thought I told you this was a one-man job, Ed.
Yes, sir, you did. But Tommy was gonna ride out, and I couldn't let him go instead of me. You know, what with my war experience and all.
I appreciate your concern, but you best head back now.
Mr. Hobson, I can't. I'm not a hero, and Tommy knows.
What do you mean?
I never fought U-boats or Messerschmitts. I never even got to the Atlantic. I got seasick on my first cruise, right off Race Rocks. They assigned me to shore duty.
Well, seasickness isn't something you can control. What about your wound?
I got it carrying sandbags in a squimalt. It's a hernia.
I'm sorry. Look, Ed, you volunteered to serve your country, and it didn't work out, all right? That's nothing to be ashamed of.
I wrote those letters, Mr. Hobson. I told those stories. And once I started, Tommy kept asking and asking and asking.
You're not the first sailor to come home and exaggerate a little. You won't be the last.
What if Kit finds out?
You kidding me? She's just happy you made it home in one piece. She couldn't care less what you did or didn't do in the Navy, all right?
But if you'd let me face down Emmett Fraker with you, maybe that'd help. I want to be a hero, Mr. Hobson. The kid, at least.
All right. You want to be a hero? All right, here's what you do.
Panhandle Phillips.
Emmett Fraker. I heard you was in prison.
Out now. Where's your partner at?
Ex-partner.
Don't say.
That's a comment on his wife's cooking? Got this for my trouble.
Heard he got married.
Yeah, she's a wildcat, too. Hobson got into a fight in a logging camp last summer. She was right in there screaming for blood. He beat the man to death. Should have taken that as a sign that he'd become unbalanced.
Not the man I remember.
Things change. Well, I'll be giving him a wide berth from now on. I advise you to do the same.
I ain't looking for no fight.
Well, whether you're looking for one or not, the man comes out swinging.
I hear you.
Back already? How far'd you get?
Right after Mr. Hobson.
Couldn't find him, huh?
Well, I found them. He sent me back to guard the ranch.
Really?
Warren and Dooley could be out there anywhere, ready to strike.
You think so?
Picking on Kit and Mrs. Hobson like he did last time?
Well, I didn't know much to help out then.
I didn't have any reinforcements.
Like who?
Like you. We're gonna take care of the women, like Mr. Hobson said.
You really think that they'd come back?
Well, Mr. Hobson did. And it makes sense too. Emmett might be like a decoy to draw Pan and Mr. Hobson away. Then the brothers move in.
You'd be sitting ducks just like last time.
What are we gonna do?
Well, we don't let the brothers come to us. We go to them.
Mr. Hobson said to defend the ranch.
The best defense is a good offense. They put up trouble with us, it'll be more than they can chew.
Where are you two going?
Something that needs doing.
Oh, I'll come with you.
No, this is a man's job.
You women folk best stay inside till we get a couple of fellas straightened out.
Emmett? Emmett Fraker?
Rich Hobson.
Yeah! Boy, pull up!
Mrs. Hobson, Ed and Tommy just went after the Freakers.
What?
I'm afraid that they're gonna do something stupid.
Why should they be any different than the rest of the men around here?
I don't want to fight you. You got a funny way of doing it. I heard about how crazy you got. I figured I better get you around. I got crazy. I just want you to understand I got no quarrel with you. Why are you trying to kill me? Your ex-partner said to come out swinging.
My ex. I don't want to fight you.
Well, that's a good start. Now, if you'd consider a suggestion, you might try opening up your heart to the word of the Lord.
Pardon?
I did in prison. Anger is no longer my master.
Oh, I'm pleased to hear that.
I found the way. You can too. Choose love, not hate.
I'll do that. Now, maybe you can dig a suggestion yourself.
Perhaps.
Maybe you could show the way to your brothers.
Have they been straying off the path?
Well, you can say that.
Well, I feared they might. What, with no one to show them the way?
Well, I'm sure they'll straighten out with a little guidance.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey!
Get off him!
Who are those folks?
It's 3 of my hands. It's my wife. Guess they're here to help. All right, break it up! Break it up!
Get off of him! Put me down!
No, it's neither wrong about you, but he's sure right about your wife.
Let go of me!
She's a wildcat.
Ruffian!
Gloria! Gloria!
Emmett, Fraker. Man.
Emmett?
Bye.
Wave goodbye, boys.
Wave, Dooley. I am waving.
Just tell me. When you rode out to meet Emmett, weren't you a little bit afraid?
Sure.
Good.
So, are you gonna admit that I was right?
Dooley gets in this lucky punch, and boom, down I go. But then Ed gets in there right away. Gets him one right back. We were fighting shoulder to shoulder.
Kid, you know the things I told you about being in the North Atlantic?
I just want to hear it, Ed. What's done is done.
Well, if I had my choice, you never would have left Canada.
I guess I'm not from now on.
Good.
But I think I'm gonna go back to Victoria.
Why?
I'll get a job in the shipyards. You know, I figure if I can't find, maybe I can build boats for my buddies in the Navy. Now you can come visit, you know, huh? After roundup? Right?
You be sure and right.
Don't I always?
How'd you get so banged up?
I managed to intervene with Emmett Fraker on your behalf.
Oh, yes.
Phillips, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, if he'd intervened any more, Emmett probably would have killed me.
What a grateful thing to say.
A prophet is always without honor in his own land.
Get a distinct feeling of deja vu.
Welcome to the world of mystery, mayhem, and murder. Angela Lansbury is out to discover the shocking truth. Murder, She Wrote, next on Vision TV.